This video will explain the rules of dash in and dash out. These two rules are really just mirror images of each other, so it's very easy to explain them together. I will start with explaining the rule of dash in. So suppose we're trying to derive the formula not p, but we don't see any way to get not p directly. So we say, well, okay, let's assume for the sake of argument that p is true. We really think that not p is true, but we're assuming just for the sake of argument that its opposite is true, that p is true. So we make a provisional assumption of p. And if that provisional assumption of p leads us to a standard form contradiction, let's say a statement of the form q and not q. So if by assuming p, that leads us to something that is clearly false, then we know that p can't possibly be true. And so in fact it must be not p that is true. And the way we cite that is we cite from the line that contains the provisional assumption that's the opposite of what we're trying to derive by dash in, through the line that contains the standard form contradiction. Notice that like arrow in, it's not 1, hashtag, it's 1 through hashtag. That's very important. And that's all there is to dash in. Dash out is exactly the same, except that in this case, we're trying to derive a formula that doesn't have a negation on it. And so when we assume the opposite, we assume its negated form. So we really think that p is the case, but we assume, for the sake of argument, that not p is the case. And we show that that leads to a contradiction, and therefore we're entitled to derive what we wanted in the first place, which is p.